Is Britney Spears being exploited in the divorce with her ex-husband Sam Asghari? Why is Lizzo now suing her backup dancers? And what is going on with the Tangled live-action remake? We'll answer all the questions in this video. So it looks like Sam Asghari has packed up his belongings and left Britney Spears. But that doesn't mean that he's going to be paying for his new apartment. It's been reported that Britney is the one who's had to foot the bill. According to inside sources, she's paying $10,000 a month for Sam's new place in one of the most high-end apartment buildings in LA, which is apparently the standard cost of a unit in that high-rise. While this might sound generous to some people, it's most likely just a part of Sam and Britney's agreement, and something that they'll need to work out as their divorce goes ahead. I mean, living arrangements are usually the first thing that gets discussed when marriages break apart, and so far this divorce seems to be getting more and more complicated. It was recently reported that Sam's lawyer is going to challenge the prenup, which will almost certainly end with Britney writing him a big fat check, most likely in the amount of several hundreds of thousands of dollars. While the two of them are not exactly on speaking terms at the moment, sources say that they've also come to an agreement on their dogs. Sam's going to get the Doberman Portia, and Britney is going to get their 4 remaining dogs, including the Australian Shepherd, Sawyer, and the new puppy Snow. Britney said she was a little shocked that her 6-year relationship has come to an end. While we don't know the exact reason for their split, Sam cited irreconcilable differences in a divorce petition filed on Wednesday. He asked that spousal support and payment of legal fees be paid by Britney. In his own post on Instagram, he wrote, "After 6 years of love and commitment to each other, my wife and I have decided to end our journey together. We will hold on to the love and respect we have for each other, and I wish her the best always." He said that asking for privacy seems ridiculous, so he will just ask everyone, including the media, to be kind and thoughtful. For her part, Britney spoke out for the first time since the announcement, and she explained that she just couldn't take the pain anymore. In an Instagram post, she wrote, "I'm not here to explain why, it's honestly no one's business. I've been playing it strong for way too long, and my Instagram may seem perfect, but it's far from reality, and I think we all know that. I would love to show my emotions and tears and how I really feel, but for some reason, I've always had to hide my weaknesses." Britney said she would be as strong as she can for now, and she's actually doing pretty well. Rumors of their marital struggles have been reported in tabloids all throughout this year. The two of them had recently been seen without their wedding rings in public, and TMZ recently put out a documentary trying to expose the reality behind their marriage. They claimed that their relationship was in deep trouble. According to their sources, they were constantly fighting with each other, and many of these fights even turned physical. Apparently they would get into screaming arguments, and their fights were so explosive that security had to intervene. It was also said that over the last couple of months, Sam would not stay at their home very much because of all the chaos going on between them. Of course, when the documentary came out, Sam was one of the first people to speak out against it. He posted a video to his Instagram story slamming anyone involved in the production. He said, "I found it absolutely disgusting for the people who were in her life when she didn't have a voice. They went and told her story like it was theirs. It was absolutely disgusting." He then brought up Britney's years-long conservatorship and said, "How are you going to take the most influential person of her generation, the princess of pop, America's sweetheart, and put her in a prison where her father tells her what to do, what water to drink, who to see, and use her as a money-making machine?" Sam also called out TMZ for putting Britney under the microscope even when she's finally free from her family's control. He encouraged his followers not to fall for these kinds of exploitative stories. In March, his representative once again denied rumors of a rift in their marriage, after speculation that they had decided to take a break. At the time, they were both seen without their wedding rings. Sam's rep had to explain that the two of them were not experiencing marital issues, despite the fact that they were both ditching their wedding bands on multiple occasions. He claimed that his client had just taken off the ring because he was filming a movie at the time. He then shared a photo outside of what appears to be a film set on his Instagram story, as well as a selfie on a plane with his wedding ring on display. Unfortunately, speculation about their marriage only amped up over the months, and people on social media have insisted that they actually predicted this divorce. And now, a big development with the Lizzo lawsuit, because now it looks like she's finally hitting back. She reportedly has plans to sue the same backup dancers who are taking her to court. Not only that, but there's been some new photos coming out which shows her accusers having a great time backstage at a strip club in Paris. Lizzo's attorney Marty Singer said that these photos showed the dancers happily carousing and gleefully reveling backstage with the performers from a topless cabaret show in Paris. He said that the photos are from March 5th, which is about a month after the infamous visit to the strip club in Amsterdam. Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez also claimed that they were essentially forced to go to this topless show, and now Lizzo's attorney says that that contradicts the photos. He says they're happily cavorting backstage with the topless dancers, who are the ones in the colorful wigs. He claims the accusers chose to re-up with Lizzo a few weeks after the Paris show and returned for a third leg of her tour. And not just that, but 1 month after the Paris backstage visit, one of the dancers, Ariana Davis, gushed over Lizzo in an audition tape. She said, "It's been so amazing and such a beautiful journey. I look up to her so much. I just want to follow in her footsteps. I just want to share that with the Queen Lizzo herself." Marty said that Ariana tried to explain away her glowing comments about Lizzo by claiming that the bulk of her accusations were based on things that had happened after that, but he says that excuse is completely contradicted by the facts. He says he has other substantial evidence in addition to the photos and videos that prove the glaring contradictions between what the plaintiffs claim and what is actually proven by the facts. The attorney for the accusers, on the other hand, Niyama Rahami, says that they were only smiling because they wanted to keep their jobs and they had bills to pay just like everyone else. She says that they stand by every claim in the lawsuit and they look forward to the trial. Quote, "We've been hearing from other former employees sharing similar stories, as seen as in the Los Angeles Times article today about how Lizzo used intimate footage of her dancers without their approval in the 2022 HBO Max Love Lizzo documentary. We're seeing even more of a pattern of just how much Lizzo thinks of those who work for her. Clearly, not very much." As we know, 3 of her former backup dancers accused her of creating a hostile work environment and pressuring them to participate in sex shows. They claim that they were made to touch a nude performer at an Amsterdam strip club during a tour party. Now, the attorney for the dancers said that their firm was reviewing at least 6 more complaints against Lizzo from people who toured with her or worked with her on her reality show Watch Out for the Big Girls. Ron Zambrano told NBC News that these new allegations were of a sexually charged environment and a failure to pay employees. And since the original lawsuit became public news, there's been more and more women coming out against her, sharing their experience of working with Lizzo. Sophia Nali Allison, the Oscar-winning filmmaker, weighed in on the situation, and she said that she quit her role as a director of a Lizzo documentary in 2019 after only 2 weeks, because she says she was treated with such disrespect. She wrote, "I walked away after about 2 weeks. I was treated with such disrespect by her. I witnessed how arrogant and unkind she is. I was not protected and was thrown into a bad situation with little support. My spirit said to run as fast as you effing can, and I'm so grateful I trusted my gut. I felt gaslit and was deeply hurt, but I've healed." Lizzo's former creative director Quinn Wilson also came forward with her own story. She took to social media and wrote, "I haven't been a part of that world for 3 years for a reason. I very much applaud the dancers' courage to bring this to light, and I grieve parts of my own experience. I'd appreciate space to understand my feelings." So basically, by this point, fans were starting to notice just how many of Lizzo's former colleagues had something negative to say about working with her. What's more is that the dancers claim that their team captain Shirley Quigley made inappropriate sexual comments while chastising members of the team who had premarital sex. They said that Lizzo was aware of these complaints against her but chose to ignore them. It was also said that she publicly discussed the virginity of one of the plaintiffs even when it was made clear to her that they were very uncomfortable with it. So obviously these accusations are extremely serious. Aside from her lawyer's comments, Lizzo has been pretty quiet lately. She was spotted in public on Monday for the first time since being sued, and she says she was doing just fine and working on new music. But it's too early to tell how this lawsuit is going to play out and whether or not she's going to have any kind of a professional comeback. Now, have you heard about all the drama going on with Disney's live-action Tangled? As per usual, there's been a big conversation online surrounding casting choices, and it looks like no one can agree on anything. Zachary Levi, the star of Shazam, has expressed his interest in the upcoming movie. In fact, he put himself forward as a potential casting choice for Flynn Rider, right alongside Florence Pugh as Rapunzel. He spoke at a recent fan expo in Chicago and responded to the rumors currently circulating that Florence would be the one playing the live-action Rapunzel, and he joked that since they have the same last name, they would make a great on-screen couple. Obviously, there's no way to tell if he's being serious or not, but so far there's been a lot of online support for Florence Pugh, and you can easily see why. Not only does she look the part with her blonde hair and expressive eyes, but she's also worked with Disney in the past, when she played Yelena Belova in the MCU. And best of all is the fact that she's already proved that she has a great voice, which would make her the perfect person for the job. So now all that's left for Disney to do is to find the perfect Flynn Rider. And either way you look at it, this is definitely going to be one of those remakes that fans want done perfectly. And a big part of that is getting the casting right. Earlier this month, a Disney fan website called Mousetrap News published an article with the headline, "Jada Pinkett Smith cast as Rapunzel in live-action Tangled." And that got exactly the kind of reaction that you would expect. The website itself was satire, but people really took that story and ran with it. It was clearly done with the intention of being cruel to Jada, since she shaved her head and she's spoken out many times about how she suffers from alopecia, a condition that causes her hair loss. If you didn't know, the original Tangled movie was released way back in 2010, and it told the classic tale of Rapunzel, a beautiful princess who's been locked away in a tower since she was a baby by her overly protective mother. The only difference in the movie is that her magical long blonde hair has the power to provide eternal youth, hence why she's been locked away. But at the age of 18, Rapunzel becomes curious about the outside world, and that's when Flynn Rider comes walking in, a good-hearted thief who helps her escape the tower. At the time of release, Tangled was praised by critics everywhere, and it saw huge success at the box office. It's basically a Disney classic at this point, so there's no doubt that fans will be expecting big things from this new movie. Let me know what you think about all these live-action remakes in the comments, and who would you cast for Rapunzel and Flynn Rider? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.